Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Hit that like and subscribe button. Let's talk some boxing, man. Look, Adonis Stevenson, it's looking like he's really going to be facing Badou Jack next. Apparently, the WBC has said that they will sanction this fight. Now, we all know that Adonis Stevenson has had a mandatory for quite some time in the later Alvarez, right? Apparently, he continues to pay him step-aside money, and this time around, you know, he's mandatory. They're supposed to fight. He pays him step-aside money again. Alvarez accepts. Now, I have a problem with this on both ends because why don't you just fight this dude, man? Are you scared to fight him? Is that what the issue is? Because it's looking like you're afraid to fight Alvarez. But on the other hand, I can't really think much of later Alvarez either because he continues to take the step-aside money, right? So they're both in the wrong here. They're both idiots. With probably Alvarez being the dumbest because, well, thinking about this, he probably has made well over $1 million in step-aside money. So, whatever. Anyway, Adonis Stevenson could potentially be facing Badou Jack, and Badou Jack is on a roll right now, man. I like Badou Jack a lot. I think he's improved a lot since he took that loan. Well, how many losses? He got one loss, right? I believe he's got one loss on his resume. I'm going to pull up his box rec real quick. Yeah, he's got one loss, and it was by knockout. But ever since that loss to Derek Edwards, I mean, he's been pretty solid. He's been on a win streak. He did have a draw against James DeGale. I think he just completely obliterated James DeGale. But I'm like, how do you lose a fight to a dude that ain't got no teeth? How's that? What part of the game is that? He ain't had no teeth. James DeGale ain't had no teeth, no front teeth, and somehow it was a draw? You telling me that fight was a draw? Please. You know? He took care of Lucien Boudet, and he stopped Nathan Cleverly. I think he's only the second person to stop Cleverly, right? So, Badou Jack has been on the roll, man. He's looking strong. The pressure looks relentless. You know? I look at Adonis Stevenson, I see a man who's 40 years old. I see a man who's been hiding, been fighting. I'm not even going to say bums, man. He's been fighting subpar competition, right? You know, Sakio Bika. I like that Thomas Williams Jr. fight, though, man. That was a nice little fight, man, because he hurt Adonis Stevenson in that fight, man. There was a lot of back and forth action because, you know, Thomas Williams, he come forward, he throws punches, tries to hurt you and get you out of there. But we're not finna excuse these fanfare rematches, man. We're not finna excuse that terrible choice of opponent. You know, really, what have you done since? And I'm not even giving dude props, but what have you done since Tony Bellew? You haven't done anything. You've been hiding. You've been hiding on Showtime with that green belt, talking about you the man at light heavyweight, but you not. You ducked. What's his name? You ducked. Dang, what's his name, man? I'm a little under the weather. Excuse me. He ducked Sergey Kovalev. Like, why that fight never got made? Well, how come that fight never got made? You gotta answer that question, man. You was ducking him. That's why, because you're a one-handed fighter. If he can't hit you with that left, it's a wrap. But you know what? It's gonna be a tough fight for Badou Jack, man, because he don't really got no chin. I don't think Badou Jack has a chin at all. He got dropped by James DeGale in like the first or second round, man. He be getting dropped in his fights. But he seems to get stronger as the fight goes on. So Badou Jack's somebody you got to get rid of early, I think. And I think if he doesn't get rid of Badou Jack early in that fight, he could potentially lose, man. But, man, all Stevenson got to do is land that left once. And it's over for Jack, man. So I don't know if he's going to be able to use that inside fighting, that come forward, just aggression, man. He might not be able to pull that off, but I mean, it's a good fight for Adonis Stevenson. It's a good fight for both of these guys. It's a good fight for boxing. More than likely, this fight will probably take place in Canada. And I wouldn't, you know, if it goes 12 rounds, I wouldn't be surprised. And if it's a close fight, it goes 12 rounds, I wouldn't be surprised if Adonis Stevenson wins the fight on the scorecards, man. Because Badou Jack been getting screwed on scorecards for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, he been getting screwed for a minute on them scorecards. Like, that James DeGale, like, that That definitely wasn't a draw, man. I could have sworn he had another draw in the meantime. It wasn't. No, it wasn't George Groves. I could have sworn it was against Lucian Buda, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, Badou Jack is that dude at light heavyweight. And Adonis Stevenson at 40 years old, I'm not sure if he got enough to deal with Badou Jack like that, man. Let me look. How much taller is he than Badou Jack? Let's see. Okay, so Badou Jack's 6'1". Badou Jack's a big dude, man. He's younger. He's hungrier. I think he's hungrier too, man. I just think Adonis Stevenson been sitting back too long, fighting subpar competition. I don't think he's ready for a fight like this. So it'll be interesting to see if this fight actually gets made. I mean, we've all been wanting. I mean, look, the light heavyweight division is changing a bit, man. There's some killers coming up in the light heavyweight division right now, man. It's a lot of killers. You know, I hear Adonis Stevenson's hard to negotiate with. So for him, after this fight, he should probably just retire. Because it's only a matter of time before he gets smoked again. Hitman Boxing, I'm out.